Hi, thanks for joining today. We're going to do Princess Jasmine and we're going to do off the mat 30 inches. Um, 30 inches is a really good size. It's perfect for party decor, for the cake table. Um, it's really big next to the little kids that will be there. So it's it just makes a really big impact on how it looks. So your party decor will be on point. All right, so let's go to upload. I've already uploaded my file, so it's in my recently uploaded images. So let's select that and then let's go to insert images. And here we have it. And I'm going to make, and I usually just go to my height and I do 30 inches. All right, and I like to make this smaller down to 25% just so that I'm not scrolling up and down to see my whole image. So now that we have this, I'm going to ungroup it because I'm going to move everything over and just deal with the background layer first. I just like to have this black layer over here and start slicing away to pieces that our Cricut can cut. So I'm going to do 11 by 11, and it's easier to do it that way, and I'll show you why. I use the position feature up here to make sure that all my pieces are flushed, and when we cut we can piece this back together and it will be as seamless as possible. Alright, so I've already ungrouped it. I'm going to start moving everything over. So that looks like, what was that, her eyes? Yeah. Her jewelry, her cute little outfit, and her face. So really the big things that we will be slicing, it looks like, is maybe her face and definitely the background. And I say maybe her face and her body because I'm going to show you in a second why. So if you look at this piece, this is actually, her face is one whole piece, her shoulders is one full connected piece, and then you have a little piece of her arm and a little piece of her, what is that, her midriff. So we can use contour and we can separate these pieces, and what's awesome is that we hopefully each one of these pieces will be smaller than 11 by 11, so we don't even have to slice it, and it will cover our slices in the back, in the black background. So I will show you that in a second. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. Okay, let's insert our shape, our square. And it's already locked, so I can just go over here and type in 11 for the width, and I know the height will be 11, okay? So let's put that here. We want to cover the whole thing. So let's go to duplicate, and that's over here. So what I'll do now is I want to make sure they're flushed next to each other, but yet not overlapping. So on this one, I'm going to go to position, and I'm just going to do 3, 3. So these are just like coordinates in math, right? Like on a grid. So our x coordinate is 3, so it's going to go over to 3. And then our y coordinate is also 3, so it's here. And then it's going to end over here, so we're going to add this piece over here. Our x coordinate will be 14, and our y coordinate is 3. And how I know that is because this is at 3, 3, right? So if you add 11 inches to it, it is now 14, but still at 3. And the nice thing about using position is that if you put it close enough, you can just round down, and then it's right there. You don't have to do the math. So okay, let's highlight both these items, and we're going to duplicate 2 things at one time, and that way we don't have to position 2, we only have to position 1 item. So I moved it to where I think it is. It's already at 3, and let's move this to 14. So now I know that's flushed. Let's duplicate again, and it looks like we could finish this whole thing in 6 pieces, right? All right, so let's put that here, and I'll show you. See, the position is already at 3.167, so I know it's at 3. And then this is 25.22, so let's just do 25. And now I have 6 pieces of 11 by 11 cardstock all flushed together. Now, some of you may say, I could have done 11 and a half, right? And totally true. But I didn't want to deal with half an inch and doing the position. It's not that hard, but I just don't want to mess up. And that's usually where I make silly mistakes and then the whole thing needs to be recut. So now that I have this, I'm going to bring my background piece to the forefront. So to access it, I just scroll down here. I clicked on it so it's highlighted. It's an active piece that we're working on, and I'm going to arrange and I'm going to send to the front. That way I can see this. Now the other thing is, so like basically I don't want it to, let's say, put it here. Well, then her boob is sticking out, but you want to just make sure that when you're slicing these images, that you have full pieces. The other thing to be mindful of, and I'm going to bring over her face and her body soon, and let's make that, send it all the way to the front, is this is going to hide our seams a little bit. So like for instance, right now there's going to be a seam right here, which I think will be okay. So let's move this also to the front, and we'll put this here. I know it's not completely lined up, but I'm just trying to see, like, her hair is going to be a seam that we can't cover because it's going to go straight down here unless we move it over. We'll try to figure that out. But the piece right here that would have been coming down will be covered by her shoulders, and this seam will pretty much be covered also. So far this is not a bad cut, except for the fact that her hair up here, and I'm not sure what goes up there. Well, let's move this to the front. And if you've watched my other videos, I'm not that careful with where I cut. And that's something that I need to be more mindful of, which is why I'm starting with this one. So we will see seams down her hair and here that won't be covered. So unless we want to use black glitter cardstock. With the cardstock, because the paper is so thick and it's so shimmery, you actually don't see the seams that much. So I'm tempted to do that because I want her hair. Her hair is such a big part of this that I do want it to be shimmery, and it's just 6 pieces of cardstock. So I'm tempted to do that. All right, so let's move this out of the way. Let me see, let's move this figure over just a little bit to see if it's worth changing at all. If we do that, most of her hair, let's see. So the seam is coming down right here. This will actually, I think, be better. It's minimal hair. Her face is covering most of the seam. Her body's covering most of the seam. Let's keep it right there. So if you see what I mean, I think this is a better cut than I had it before. All right, so this is where we start slicing. It's very, very simple. When you slice, you can only slice 2 images at one time. So her black background is 1 image, and then each one of these squares is an image. So we're going to slice 1 square at a time. So I'm going to basically take my cursor and highlight, the 2, and then go to slice. And so now her top piece is now 6 by 9, which is cuttable. No big deal, right? All right, let's slice this top half over here. And let's bring that down. Let's slice this middle. And you see that I'm bringing down my image down here. I like to keep it in its original shape so that when we go to piece this together, it's easier to piece together. I don't have to wonder where this piece goes. And you think it's simple, but I kid you not, when I didn't do this, oh my gosh, even the 6 pieces was difficult because sometimes I would take it off the mat and I wouldn't keep it right side up, and then now I'm dealing with is this the right side up? Do I need to flip it around? Where is it? So here we go. Let's slice the bottom piece and we're almost there. All right. That was pretty simple, right? So when you slice, you get slice results, right? Which is all the other pieces. We can basically just highlight this whole area and delete it. We don't need it. We're going to cut this in black cardstock, glitter cardstock, and the rest of these pieces we're going to see if we need to do anything to them. The lips is tiny. It's 2 by 1, and it's by itself. It's red. We don't need to do anything with that. This we do because we don't, first of all, it's over 12 inches wide and 25 inches long. So we don't have cardstock that's going to make that work. But this is technically just 3 pieces, right? This whole body piece is one. But unfortunately, now that I'm thinking about it, it's 12 inches wide. So this bodice right here is going to need to be sliced. But let's split this into 3 separate pieces so that when we go to cut it, we can also make it all fit on one page. So I'm going to use contour. I like using contouring. When you contour and you want each one to be a separate piece, you need as many number of pieces that you have. So this is 3. I'm going to go to duplicate. Here's my second image and my third copy. Let's go to contour to mess with the first one. And we're going to hide all contours, and it's saving the bodice. So here it is, all by itself. Okay, so let's just move it over there. Now we want to make sure that we have the top 2 pieces. So let's contour, and I'm going to show you over here. Let's hide all contours, and it's going to, when you hide all contours, one still needs to be selected. Otherwise, the whole thing is gone, right? So let's keep this piece right here. We'll select this again to gray it out, and we'll gray out this little sliver. And there we go. So now we have the left piece, and now we just need the right piece. So let's select that, contour, and hide all contours, and we want this piece here. And then we can go over here and we can click on this. We don't want that. And that's it. I think we're good. All right. But this piece is still too long. So let's think about how we want to slice this. I mean, we could just slice this here so we keep this whole piece in together. So let's go to shapes, add our square, and I'm going to slice. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And let's just slice it right here. Okay, so we're going to highlight both pieces, go to slice, and now we have this piece. This piece is a 9 by 8 piece now, and this piece will be by itself. We'll have to piece it together and push it up against each other and tape the back when we're assembling it. But I think it'll be okay because I'm definitely going to use blue glitter cardstock. All right, this little jewel is a different color, and give me just one second.